Welcome to Habitly Courses, a production of Manage to Win. Each course is divided into multiple lessons for easy viewing. All are now completely free, so you can watch them on your own or work through them as a team. Please subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, and share your favorite lessons with others. Try to find something that helps you be your best.
Hello, this is David Russell. I'm back with you. We are in Charm School, and we're talking about workplace drama. This is lesson 4. This is where the rubber meets the road. I mean, this is somebody's upset. What happened? And I don't know who came up with this term emotional flooding, but flooding intensifies conflict. It's blame-based thinking that involves emotional reactions and judgment of another person. Now, here's the scary part. It prompts a physical reaction. Literally, something happens in your body where it floods with cortisol and adrenaline. Your breathing gets quicker, your heartbeat increases. It doesn't say it here, but your body flooding with cortisol stops you from being able to solve problems. It's bad news. So the warning here is the result of emotional flooding is irrational behavior, so you want to avoid it. That's what we're going to talk about. When you're flooding, the problem is someone else's fault. Therefore, a rational solution is not considered. You've got inflammatory, blame-based thinking that blocks consideration of options. You feel trapped, although you put yourself there. Your body instinctively reacts with aggression. Might be just mental thoughts, might be verbally, might be physical. And you shift to a self-focused, me-focused, all about me, baby. Got to do what's best for me. And it's a fight or flight response. Now, the emotional flooding process is basically, number one, something or someone hurts you and you blame someone for it. Remember blame-based thinking. Number two, I'm using this term, a term that I came up with or I haven't seen out there, rising waters, because it relates to flooding, right? So you get triggered, the waters start to rise, and by the way, that can be very quick, if not instantaneous, and you take emotional action against others. Once again, that emotional action initially can be just mental, or maybe it then moves to verbal, and then maybe it moves to physical. I hope not, particularly in the workplace. Number three, someone or something triggers you again. Oh, hey, we threw gasoline on that fire. Let's do that again. That was fun. You emotionally flood, number 4. And then number 5, your focus is fight or flight to protect yourself. At least that's what you're telling yourself. I've got to do this because it's best for me. So what I want to pause here and discuss is recognize the rising waters, indications that you're starting to flood. Number 1, you're making assumptions. You don't have all the facts. You just think it's that way. You're convinced it's always that way. Always is rarely true. Number 2, you return an insult. So somebody cuts you off on the road, you cut them off yourself, okay? Give it back to them. Number 3, you match or exceed another's threats or actions. This, you can see how this anger is increasing. Number 4, you avoid interactions with and or ignore others who upset you while you're fuming, right? Number 5, you hoard resources or knowledge because others do. Well, if they're not going to tell me that, I'm not going to tell them this. So how are you supposed to get things done as a team? Number 6, you make errors on purpose because you feel poorly treated. That's just not good logic. That has to come back and hurt you, not just the team. And there's no heroic effort there, that you're making your point. Number 7, you gesture or shout at other drivers while driving. You got to watch yourself on that one, particularly if you're tired, right? Whew. Number 8, gossip about someone gossiping about you. Well, I can't believe the way they gossip about me, and then blah, 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 you gossip about them. I'm sorry, 2 wrongs don't make a right. You're flooding. Number 9, you recruit support for your negativity from others. All right? So you feel bad, and then you start talking to others about it, trying to get them to say, oh, yeah, you're right. That's terrible. By the way, oftentimes they won't say that when you're not around. And number 10, you self-talk why the other person is wrong. These are all indications that you have begun emotional flooding, and you want to catch it early. So physically, your heart rate increases. You get angry, you have shortened breathing. Mentally, you've got, or emotionally, you've got strong negative blame-based thinking, and that blame-based thinking blocks reality. And you make this quick shift to anger, hostility, or resentment. See the warning there on the screen? Extended or repetitive flooding reinforces specific neural pathways that are not good. And it makes your anger response more automatic, makes it a stronger habit, a more immediate habit, and less conscious. You just do it. And I know somebody like this. He gets angry pretty easily. Doesn't admit it, that it's a problem. I mean, he'll admit it, but not in a way where he's dealing with it. Okay? He had no idea what's going on. Now, the downside of flooding, if it's not already obvious to you, first of all, it blocks creativity and problem solving. We're focused on people, not the problem. Remember that? That's the opposite of what we want to do. It fuels inaccurate speculation and assumptions and blame-based thinking. It overpowers our need for connection and understanding. I mean, we are relational beings. Human beings are relational, but this overpowers that need for connection and understanding. It ruins relationships, hurts careers, and destroys productivity. Isn't that enough right there? Well, if it's not, look at the last bullet. Science has proven that emotional flooding shortens your life. Getting angry shortens your life. Being happy extends your life. By the way, decades ago, they used to encourage venting when you're frustrated or angry or afraid. They said it was healthy to do that. I remember, wow, back in the 1980s when the computer industry was young, the middle 80s, like 85, 86, we did a volleyball league here in Marin County and invited some different software companies to participate. One of the head guys at one of the software companies, well-known guy in the industry, went on to other things too, was a member of EST, which is a New Age cult type thing here in Marin County. Pretty common here in Marin out on the left coast. Anyway, one of their things was teaching venting, and I'll never forget it. 6-person side volleyball teams were playing volleyball. He's in the middle on the front row. Our team is playing them. He makes a mistake. I think it was his mistake. I don't think it was somebody else's. And he went into this whole rant, for, I don't know, realistically 5-10 seconds, which doesn't sound long unless you're listening to it. And then he put his hands on, he went, okay, I'm all right now. We can continue. This whole venting thing. Anyway, so I want to encourage you, venting is not good. So if you say, well, I'm just venting, that's a red flag. Oops, I'm doing something that's not healthy here. It weakens your natural inhibitions against violent outbursts. Plus, the selfish focus of venting increases the potential that anger is going to occur again and more intensely because you're self-justifying it over and over again. And you are your own self's best salesperson. When you're selling yourself, boy, you are really convincing. Got to watch out. One thing to keep in mind, too, is that if you don't control your anger and how you're flooding, it's visible to others. So it's almost impossible to hide your feelings when you feel hurt. You got negative feelings. You might have an attitude of superiority. You know, you're upset at them, so you think you're better, or just simply contempt or indifference or lack of respect. This is going to come out. So you need to deal with it rather than suffer from it. One of the concepts here is you can develop better habits, general habits, as a foundation. So you're going to be better prepared when these situations come up. Somebody pulls your trigger, pushes your button, you've got a short fuse in an area, and you get rising waters that leads to an emotional flood. If you eat healthy, number one. Number two, you exercise regularly. Number three, change the stuff that is your mental intake. If you're looking online at what people are writing, I mean, it just amazes me how caustic, how mean, how rude and self-centered so many people that enter their comments online can be. It might be TV, it might be radio, it might be music, might be books, whatever it is. Change what you're putting into yourself and better stuff will come out. Put more positive things in, more positive things will come out. Number four, serve others sincerely. Number five, reinforce your positives without ego. Try being thankful for them. Number six, hang out with positive people. You're going to be more positive if you do. Number seven, develop your faith, whatever it is. Develop your faith. A faith in a higher power, a faith in a greater good is beneficial. Number eight, participate in a cord of three strands. What that is, and this was said by, I think, a man named Howard Hendricks. I heard him speak years ago. He talked about be in a cord of three strands. It's from Ecclesiastes. A cord of three strands is not easily broken. It is the inspiration behind my three strands leadership. This is a little bit different application. A cord of three strands is that in your life, you are working with a mentor who is older and wiser than you are. That's one strand. The second strand is you're kind of in the middle. And the third strand is you are mentoring someone who is less experienced and not as savvy about life, who is probably younger than you, okay? So you're working with someone older and wiser, so you grow, and then you're helping someone younger. You're giving back, and that's a cord of three strands. Can be very beneficial. Number nine, intentionally be sincerely positive. And number 10, proactively be thankful, sincere gratitude. It's interesting this comes out because just 3 days ago, I was walking down the street, walking the dog in the evening, the cool of the evening, and I looked up and I just said, wow, I'm really thankful that I get to live here. I live in a relatively nice area. It was a beautiful, clear, starlit night. It's a nice area. There's trees all around. It's not real busy. It's not noisy. And then I woke up the next morning, and I know this will sound bizarre, and you just won't get it, but I'll try anyway. I had this deep thankfulness for I got a hot breakfast and a nice cool glass of grape juice. Not cool, cold glass of grape juice, and how sweet that tastes. And I was just thankful for these little things that are happening, realizing, I don't know, I hit a deeper level a few days ago. I'm not going to have this forever. So if you can proactively be thankful and have sincere gratitude, it's a wonderful thing for you personally and professionally. Okay, enough of that. Let's get back to conflict. Conflict is almost always due to misunderstandings and hidden realities, broken systems or processes, not a key person who lacked capacity for their role. It's these systems and processes or misunderstandings. Now, so often, the best habit to learn is that when you're triggered and you start to flood, stop your thought process and simply focus on breathing deeply. Don't talk. Just breathe. Several of the people I read, their writings on conflict and drama and that type of thing, talked about how this enables you to achieve coherence, which improves your mental clarity, your focus, your emotional stability, and your ability to make better decisions. So if you only learn one thing out of this course, I hope you pass all the exams, but if you only apply one thing out of this course, let it be that when someone pushes your button, lights that short fuse you've got, or pulls your trigger, you breathe instead of talk or act, as long as it's not a life-threatening situation. All right, let's go on to some questions I've got for you about emotional flooding. I've got 4 questions. You can stop the video to talk them through or think them through. Number 1, what do you find most interesting about emotional flooding? Look at the deck or listen to this recording again. What do you find most interesting? So talk about that. Think about that. This is a fascinating topic, I think. Number 2, what are 3 rising water habits that you do most often? I had that whole list. You may have something that's not on the list, all right? But when someone pulls your trigger, pushes your buttons, lights that short fuse, how do you typically respond? Think about that, talk about that, maybe make a list. Number 3, discuss venting. How is it negative? Do you know people who do it? Have they been doing it less because they do it and they're less angry as a result? Or is it not really affecting anything long term? Talk about it. Think about it. And number 4, candidly discuss one habit, one thing you could change that would help you avoid emotional flooding. And that's what I'm going to talk about in the next lesson. This has been Emotional Flooding, Lesson 4, where you really get into, wow, what happens when there is conflict? What's going on with people's emotions? Look at the list of 5 questions here. What can you learn? What can you apply? Take the exam and pass the exam. This is the conclusion of Lesson 4. Thank you for being with me on it. Bye for now.